Crying white tears, and I ain't gonna say nothing. I should have gave you a black supremacist slap, but I got you crying the tears of white supremacy on my shoulder. I'm always an ear. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Oh yeah. Now that must be terrible. Ain't no whole women. Are you on black supremacy? If you come up here for black supremacy, is this about black supremacy? You ain't gonna hear that. But when it comes to the black supremacists, you're tough. Those standing on black supremacy, you're tough with them. It's your fault, Noble. Do you hear me? What are you doing? What are you setting up? What's the problem here, Noble? But you're crying on the shoulder of everybody that's weak-minded trying to get back in the matrix. You're a shoulder to cry on. Tell me all your pains and sufferings. Tell me how you weak as hell. I want to hear it. I got time for it. I'll make time for it, goddammit. 2 things I'm going to make time for. Telling Noble ass and people crying on my goddamn shoulder. Do y'all feel me? Am I making this up? So it's a call. And I'm not saying this to complain because I can handle it. I've been handling it. I'm 33 now. You know, I'm in the master number of doing this. So I'm not saying this to complain. I'm just saying this in the world that we want to create. How vigilant. If we're serious. Because all I can do is going to be all that I can do. But if we vigilant, if we had all the same vigilance to manifest and see and make this happen. If this is a reality for us, then this is the attitude that must be taken. We got to be that hard. Give you an example. And some people know this because they work out. They train. And it takes a lot of mental discipline to keep your training regimen. To make yourself train harder than you did yesterday on a physical level. It takes vigilance and discipline. What does black supremacy take, though? Because I think it's underestimated. We underestimate what it takes to stay solid in that mind frame constantly. We don't know how much energy just goes into that, to being able to hold that type of posture daily. That's yoga. That's yoga. To stay in a fit mindset of black supremacy. That takes work, energy, and effort, and daily application. To say, I'm going to stand harder than I did yesterday on black supremacy. Wake up the next day. What's my goal? I'm going to stand harder on black supremacy than I did yesterday. That takes work and consciousness and awareness. Everything that is in the meditation. Forget all the Hindu austerities. Fuck all the yogis. Fuck them. And all their austere practices. Fuck all the white gurus. All the fucking Hindus. Fuck them all. The true austerity is keeping your mind on black supremacy. We ain't had no problem seeing Hindu supremacy. You feel me? And we ain't never had no problem with that. We sit at their feet. They don't need no soldiers and all this to get their ideas across. They got big, lavish ass temples. They don't need. They can be peaceful and just talk softly. They ain't got to raise their voice. Why? Because they automatically got that reverence in the door. Hindu supremacy. You ain't from here. You important. Am I right? Black man open his mouth. Nigga, please. Where your degrees? Where your master? What yogi have you studied under? He just come out the desert. Huh? I'm going in today. He's sitting in the middle of fucking nowhere. Get on the bus, come over here. Niggas is bowing down. Huh? Everything he say proceeded out the mouth of God. I open my mouth, that nigga talking again. God damn it, I ain't tired of hearing these niggas talking all day around the goddamn temple. But as a yogi, they sitting at his feet. His saliva has... Every saliva that hit the ground, meaning he said something profoundly deep. Automatically, right in the door. They're not going in arguing with these Hindus and debating in it. Okay, yes, namaste. Now I'm gonna stay in my place. I'm gonna stay. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay in my place. But when black people start talking, you couldn't know. So my point is that it's a different to stay in the mindset of black supremacy. Because I've studied the yoga practices. I've taught yoga. I've studied meditation. I've sat among the Hindus. But the most austerest practice for the black man and woman is black supremacy. And you're talking to an experienced person in those different practices. From Buddhism, Hinduism, yoga, Kriya yoga, all of them. Kundalini yoga, Tantra, all of them. I didn't study all of them. And the most profoundest austere practice that I have come into is black supremacy. Because if it's easy to meditate on nothing, but to keep your mind focused on the divinity of your own people, that's hard for you to do against all the other things that I put before you. That's harder. It's easier to focus on nothing than it is to have your mind centered on seeing black divinity. That is profound. That is a miraculous act, and that is the highest use of the mind. Because you can go and sit in the darkness for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. But to keep your mind focused and situated on black divinity beyond all gossip, Willie Lynch, hatred, that is a profound act. That is the most highest discipline use of the mind for a black man and woman. Because everything going in the world of Maya and illusion is contradictory to that. Everything that is going on, every television show, every internet advertisement, everything that pops up on Facebook other than what we're putting up there, all of it is saying white supremacy. So to keep your mind focused on black divinity in and through all that, you are higher than any fucking nasty ass Hindu. Do you hear me? You are beyond that. It don't take our reverence in them. Our reverence in them as gurus is our crutches into the little enlightenment that we experience from them. But it never takes us to black supreme consciousness. We just get a little glimpse. Because when you mean to tell me that you go and you study under these austerities and you're supposed to be enlightened and actually see God. Because that's what happens when your mind opens up. You see God in everything, right? You awaken to the supremeness of God, the omnipresence and omnipotence of the reality of God. That's what's supposed to happen. But you move to the suburbs. You don't see God in black people when you get all enlightened. You just add a few more Hindu words to your vocabulary. You don't see God in the average person walking down the streets. You see God in the people in that little Hindu movement, in your little circle, your little meditation circle. Am I right? So how have you woke up? You riding on the back of Indian supremacy. You taking that little reverence for that Hindu, and that's giving you a little bit of jump, right? But it's not jumping your ass all the way into seeing divinity all the time. Because it's not a strong enough meditation against the counter and the reinforcement of white supremacy on the minds of our people. Because all that enlightenment don't make us think nothing different for our people. And they go get to be more among the Hindus and among more of those universal white circles to get away from niggas. So how the hell have you become more divine in your mind? You still seeing niggas and not seeing God. But you don't see them, and because you're not educated, you don't see the caste system in India. They can do no wrong. Right? You don't see their arrogant attitude based on them not being the supreme people of the earth. You don't see any of that. You're so in bliss and your mind is so divine that all that is overlooked. Am I right? But when we bring that back to our neighborhood, we say, no, I got to get back to my meditation center. I got to get back over there to the north side and get back over there with the Hindus because, man, these niggas is crazy. So what am I saying? The highest use, the complete application of enlightened consciousness is the manifestation of black supremacy. We are challenging the individuals to stay in a state of enlightenment, in a state of supreme mindedness, beyond all the materialistic circumstances, the appearances, the distractions, and the reinforcement of white supremacy in our community. That's the application of enlightenment. That's where it led me to. When I started seeing God in everybody and everything, it didn't stop with the Hindus and the white people that I was amongst. That mentality bled on over to, but damn, everything. You follow what I'm saying? Their enlightened consciousness doesn't go beyond that little group. They don't take that with them all the time. They don't exist in that mind frame. It's superficial. It's just mere religious. It's not self-transformation. It's religious. Say you're going to be enlightened, but you actually you're religious. Enlightenment can only happen here for black people. Religion can happen there. You come into the middle of the hood and you seeing black divinity, you enlightened. Because you've been told to see something else, right? And you're seeing beyond the sheets or the veils that they have taught you to see your own people, your own condition, and your own community. That's enlightenment. That's the application of enlightenment, going beyond the illusions. What's the illusion? Niggas ain't shit. We ain't never gonna be nothing. We ain't gonna have nothing. We don't know how to keep. We don't know. The list goes on. To see beyond that, you are ascending. That's transcendence. You are going to a transcendental state of consciousness to see the divine potential and to see the divine reality and the spiritual world in the midst of our people. That's enlightenment. That's farther than even